So it is the battle of the race baiters, Angela Rye and Stephen A. Smith. You should have known this. You could have called this. Stephen A. Smith and Angela Rye, they're definitely some of the most prolific race baiters. Now, if you haven't had your nose in the news lately and you've been minding your own business, not caring what's going on online and whatnot, Texas Representative Jasmine Crockett, you know, the black ghetto bitch who's always acting too loud and tripping, talking about Trump this and Trump that, and you guys did this and you guys did that, and not really getting down to the nitty gritty of the problems. Now, she's had spats with Nancy Mace, with the built blonde butch body, as you probably know, aka Marjorie Taylor Greene. So she's had some battles, and that's only a couple to name several in the Senate. That's only a couple to name several in the Senate who she's disagreed with. But all that aside, Stephen A. Smith actually had the balls and the gall and the nuts to actually mention this, to call out Senator Jasmine Crockett for her, I mean, her debauchery, her ghetto-ness, as one would say. Some people think it's ghetto, some people do not. Some people think she's just speaking her mind.
But I can see that somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, 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 so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do
not.
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those emails actually have.
ceilings. And
Chairman,
you
I am reclaiming my time.
You will not do that.
But the tone in what she speaks her mind is just, it brings a little bit of tinge of ghetto-ness to it, I must say. I partly agree with Stephen A. Smith. Is that really going to get you what you need for your constituents in the districts in Houston and Texas and whatnot when Republicans rule everything? But anyway, her friend, Angela Rye, had to come up and simply defend her. And so Stephen A. Smith got a lot of backlash for mentioning that. Now, Stephen A. Smith already got checked by Serena Williams' husband, the guy who owns Reddit, you know, the billionaire, actually on ESPN. And if you haven't seen that, watch that clip. Stephen A. Smith kind of gets checked, not fully, but partially checked, to the point where he shut the hell up. This is a billionaire we talking about. Ultimately, the billionaire came to the conclusion and told Stephen A. Smith to stay in your lane. I build billion-dollar companies. You talk about people in the news. So stay in your lane, do what you need to do, and then the week after, we have this.
You Jasmine Crockett or somebody like that. Ladies, I respect. Intelligent women, no doubt. But how a Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work.
You are a sports pundit. What the hell are you talking about Democrat and Republican issues? There's no way, no chance in hell that you are going to ever make the White House. You just simply don't even have a quarter of the money that you need. Angela Rye is here to defend her friend, Jasmine Crockett, against Stephen A. Smith. Now, Angela Rye and Stephen A. Smith, they have a little bit of history. It's not like they don't know each other. She always used to come on to ESPN First Take, give her political analysis, even though it wasn't warranted, about Colin Kaepernick and kneeling and all that political mumbo jumbo, you know, during the pandemic and previous to that. And then she kind of poof, disappeared off air, kind of like Molly Qerim. But I wanted to look at this video because Angela Rye, man, like I said, it is the battle. Stephen A. Smith is not to take off any blame as well. He's a race baiter too. But I think Angela Rye is more of a race baiter. So I want you guys to check this out. I sped it up just a little bit, so it may sound a little bit weird just because I want to get through the video.
this question. I was flagged earlier that Stephen A. Smith put our podcast on his, talking about where we discussed his critique of Jasmine Crockett, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. And on this special episode of his podcast, he says, I want people to say, I disagree with you, and here's why. He resents the fact that people challenged his critique of Jasmine as disrespectful. It sounded like he resented the fact that people thought his challenge sounded in some way misogynistic. And so where that leaves us is trying to understand why there may be a road where we are missing each other, where the positions are not.
So what she's talking about, there's already been a couple of instances of back and forth. Stephen A. Smith said what he had to say. Native Land Pod, where she's from, had something to say. They all jumped on Stephen A. Smith. So Stephen A. Smith got on Jasmine Crockett. Native Land Pod got on Stephen A. Smith for getting on Jasmine Crockett. Stephen A. Smith got on Native Pod, which she is, for getting on him about talking about Jasmine Crockett. And that's what she's talking about right there. And this is her response to Stephen A. Smith talking about, it's just a lot of foolery. It's just back and forth. We'll just hear this.
Align. And so where I want to lean in is first on facts. When Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett was just on with us just weeks ago, prior to the government shutdown, right before that vote, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett talked about having to go in special entrances when she's going to public events, having to go get fitted for a bulletproof vest. I talked about that on our main episode this week, and I want to draw your attention back to it because of what Malcolm X told us, which is the Black woman is the most unprotected person in America. So to me, if someone is getting death threats, if someone is championing the voices of the people, those who can't say the thing that needs to be said. One of the things that you all said to me often when I saw you, like, I love seeing you on CNN, or I love seeing you on MSNBC, or I love seeing you on Native Land Pod.
Her mouth will set Jasmine Crockett free. Stop talking all that, just with all that tang that she got in her voice. Like she's somebody's mammy trying to tell them. That's how she sounds. So it's not what you say, it's how you say a lot of things. And if she hasn't learned that in life, come on now.
You speak for me. And when these voices, not just mine, not just Jasmine's, but Joy and Tiff and Sunny and Aaron Haynes and Brittany Packnett Cunningham and Jamel and Carrie, when those voices raise up and they speak.
She named all of the losers, all of the lefty losers. I kid you not. All Jamel, all of them are horrible. I kid you not.
On behalf of someone who feels marginalized.
She literally just admitted that they're all a group and they're all a clique. They're just totally think the same. All those folks. And you also have some folks on the right who think the same. It's
unheard
crazy.
and invisible. Those become the voices that we seek to for comfort because they're saying something in spaces where we've not been invited to or have not been allowed to speak our truth. 9 times out of 10, Black women sit in spaces in corporate America where their voices cannot speak truth to power because they could risk losing their jobs. 9 times out of 10, when Black women are hired to work for the federal government or the state government or county or local government in some other form, they cannot use their voices to speak truth to power for the risk of losing their jobs. That's something that we know to be true. Yet every now and then, someone decides that their truth being spoken is so important that it is worth risking the opportunity and perhaps even risking their lives. You have an obligation to continue to speak truth to power, even when he basically is calling you dumb. And that is something that we don't take lightly. It's something that we commend. It's something that we deem as courageous. And that is why Jasmine Crockett's approval numbers right now rival only Barack Obama's at his height.
Stop, please. Don't even mention them in the same sentence. I got some respect for Obama. And I didn't approve of everything, but don't even mention Jasmine Crockett and Obama. She's trying to comparatively bring up Jasmine Crockett to where she is just this above, beyond belief type of figure, even though we know she has a big ass mouth, wearing that big ass wig and fake ass lashes that's weighing her down, and she can't see her asshole from her mouth. That's probably the issue.
It's because she's speaking truth to power. Now, there are some things that I wish my dear sister didn't say. I wish she didn't call the commander-in-chief out of his name. I call him y'all's president. But I understand that is a tactic. And more than y'all agree with her, then agree with me. And I understand. Because we're watching this man terrorize the country. And she is one of the lone soldiers who continues to speak up and say what is wrong, to call a thing a thing. This is not some random hood rat chick, as someone have you to believe. on their platforms using language that is not only dangerous, but involves racist tropes. This is someone who has a law degree. She's a former civil rights attorney. This is someone who was a state representative. This is someone who, when Texas looked for folks to hold the line last time, folks.
She is grilling Stephen A. Smith, boy. She talking about this is all for Stephen A. Smith. Unless he, and you rest assured Stephen A. Smith is definitely listening to every word of this, and he's gonna have a response.
The Clear ID Act would hold to account the law enforcement that are going into our communities right now, terrorizing our citizens, and they're doing it masked. There was a time where this country honored legislation that was passed to force the Ku Klux Klan to identify themselves.
Okay, I think that's going to be enough of the race baiting. You've heard a slew of excuses of he thinks this of black people. No, you don't think that of me. You don't even know me. Got black people working for him, and I'm kind of past all that now. And you're still preaching to a choir that is not there. They didn't left a long time ago. This is why the left has so much issues, just because what she just spewed right there. She's still in disbelief that the odds are so against her that even she can't do it. Every black person, it's a model. Every black person is getting held down. Every black person is being talked about. No one could survive this white America Trump. Get the hell out of here. Seriously? Instead of you talking about that, talk more about what black folks can do for black folks, what we can do. Stay in our lane. You up here denigrating a black man just because he said something about one of your damn friends that you did not like. That's what this is all about. You even admitted the females calling him Trump out of his name. And I mean, come on, what type of respect is that? So, but you'll protect that. You'll roll with that. You just kind of skimmed right on over that like it was nothing. But anyway, don't be the victim. Don't play the victim. Don't let people put you in that bubble. Try to burst out. And if someone physically or mentally or even from the back, you can truly see when somebody's truly trying to hold you down. You can truly see it. It is bright as day. You're like, well, why? Well, what happened? Like that makes no sense. It's not registering. We don't need you to tell us that that's hidden and that's put in there everywhere we go. Every system, every building we walk into, every application we fill out. Come on. It's not reality for every day and most. Hear my words, every day and most black Americans. Some, it really may be the reality. But she really did tell Stephen A. Smith's ass. I mean, whew, she gave that boy to work. And I'm pretty sure that they are not friends after this. I'm not sure if they were ever friends, but she won't be going on any of his shows. I would love to see her invite her on his show. I don't know if he's done that already. Maybe she's so pissed off, but I thought this is pretty crazy. Peace.